Our second speaker today is Teirangi is a protest poet and photographer based in Pōneke. Her work has earned her an Instagram blog from Immigration Minister Erica Stanford. She'll be sharing a few words and a poem. Please welcome Teirangi.
Kia ora everyone, ko Teirangi aho, ko Ngāti Kahungungu ki Wairoa te iwi. I have a poem, as I am a slam poet, and that is what I do. But I do want to share a little bit first about, to add on to what Cole said about ASB's need to divest from Motorola solutions. In fact, they had a meeting with the FEC the other day, where they talked about this vague idea of an exclusions framework. And I was very curious to find out what exactly that is. And in the exclusions framework that they are working through in terms of divesting from Motorola, it says two things. The investments must fall under international convention and under the priority of ASB customer needs. I can safely say as an ASB customer that both of those are met when it comes to Motorola's investment in the West Bank. And Victoria Short is not abiding by international law, and if anything treats it as, in her words, an additive to ASB's inputs. So I wanted to start with that, and I will continue with a poem I wrote a few months ago, but unfortunately is still relevant today. This is called The Privilege of Hopelessness. I cannot write anything anymore, I'm screaming. And if screaming into the abyss were poetry, this is the most poetic I've ever been in my life. And a poem can start with being alive, with being thankful for quiet and water, and a roof and a made bed and whānau. Still 6 feet above the ground, but I will allow myself 1 second spent away from turning my art into action. But if Gaza is burning, I know my tears will not put out the flames. 1 year, 407 days of genocide, and we are still at the starting line of ending it. How is this shit still relevant? When they began the invasion, I called my mother to tell her I love her. I told her I should say it more. That if God forbid the house were ever rippled into rubble, I would rebuild it for her. That her eyes may rest while I am on hand and knee digging my siblings out from the carnage of our lives. I would not let her lose another child. I weep in fear of a reality that I am lucky enough to not have be my own. Instead, my hands hurt. From my attempts to shake sense into shoulders, the blood of children taken before they were given names pulls the streets of Gaza again. I haven't done enough. My words and I are still so small, and I am far too quiet. I simply must be louder. As long as the path I walk is not matted with the melted flesh of my friends and my neighbors, I have a duty to human until I no longer can. I can write while my rage pumps blood through my veins, while I still have 2 hands to wrap around the throats of power, to carve out a future for those who have had theirs ripped away from them. The world has a right to defend Palestine, and so as long as there is breath in my body, I will. They continue to underestimate the rage of this single person. Imagine what they would say when they hear the drums of liberation echo in the chest of everyone on this street, of everyone in the world. Think bigger. When they hear the glowing choir of free Palestinian voices telling us their stories themselves. We know what the colonizer can and will do next. The question is always what our next steps are. We cannot allow for the restoration of white supremacy as it begins to buckle at its knees. Take the time you need to scream for Gaza, for the West Bank, for Sudan, Congo, West Papua, Pōneke, Lebanon, and Aotearoa, but we cannot afford the privilege of hopelessness. The price is far too high, and we are not the ones paying it. A poem can start with being alive, and it will end with a free, free! Free! Thank you so much. Free Palestine.